Welcome agents, today I've got a different variation on a Hexo build which I know you guys absolutely love. It's one of my favourite builds in the game and hopefully you're going to enjoy this one. It does actually put in quite a lot of work which you'll see at the end of the video when I've got some PvP footage for you. If you enjoy these kind of videos then please leave a like below, subscribe below as well, turn on notifications, and with that said, let's get into the build followed by the PvP action. Welcome agents, in today's build video we've got a bit of a take on these skulls high-end Hexo build, whatever you want to call it. Now most people run sort of 752, where you have 7,000 firearms, 5,000 stamina, and then you have 2,000 electronics, or they do 662. They don't really invest anything in electronics is the point I'm trying to make. But today, what I've decided to do is invest a little bit into electronics, keep the stamina fairly low, and then keep the firearms at a reasonable rate. And the reason for that is so that I can get my booster shot and pulse back quicker, meaning I can do more damage quicker. And also, with the booster shot and the fact that I'm running my refresh mask here, it means that actually, when I'm in my last segment of health, I actually get a pretty good boost. So it keeps my survivability pretty high, especially with a booster shot, which gives you a little bit of damage mitigation as well. So that's the theory behind the build, and as you'll see in the PvP gameplay, it does work. But let's have a look at the actual build itself. So we've gone for Barrett's Bulletproof Vest simply because, as you can see here, we get the extra 10% skill power when no skills are on cooldown, and we get the extra damage when one skill is on cooldown, and the extra armor when two skills are on cooldown, which is... Barrett's is one of the best chest pieces in the game. You could run something like Reckless if you wanted to go out and out DPS, but for this, I felt that this was probably the best one to run. You could possibly run Vigorous as well, but only if you're using... I can't remember what it's called. It's not Booster Shot, is it? It's the other one. I'll quickly find it here. Overdose. That's one. I rarely use Overdose, actually. So if you're using Overdose, then possibly. But for this, I'm not running that. As you can see, with my major attributes, we've got Health and Skill Haste. Skill Haste is obviously important. We're going to be wanting to get those skills back as soon as possible, because they're ultimately going to do damage and keep you alive at the same time. As I said, we've got a Refresh Mask here, giving us that extra 30% heal when in the last health segment. And we're running Skill Power on this as well. And the reason being is that because I don't really need crit hit chance, I've got a good pulse on this build, as you'll see. So having that extra skill power gives us that extra booster shot, health, and also it gives us that extra crit damage and crit hit chance from the pulse as well. And modded wise, we've gone for a stamina mod here, and on the chest piece, we've gone for a firearms and stamina mod as well. Now I've got a variation in the mods because I wanted to get that sort of 6-5-4 kind of the attributes on that sort of level, so that's the reason why we've gone for those particular mods. Moving on to the Shortbow Championship pads, there are no better knee pads in the game that are non-classified, and the reason being is that when you throw a grenade they pretty much explode straight away, and none of the other higher knee pads in the game are any good unless you're playing PvE. I really hope that if something like this comes in the Division 2 they change that. Looking at the mods here, we've got stamina, and a performance mod we've got pulse critical hit damage, and again we're running skill power on here instead of health, just for that booster shot and that extra crit chance and damage from the pulse as well. Onto the backpack, we got Specialized, of course. You have to run Specialized on this. As you can see, my skill power is 181,000, so it actually helps out a lot. We've got health on this and burn resistance. I wouldn't change that. I'd keep health here. You could possibly run skill power here as well, I believe, but it's entirely up to you, really. Maybe you could run skill power, I've got health, and then burn resistance. If you're running last stand, maybe you'd want ammo capacity, but in skirmish you don't really need it. So burn resistance, bleed resistance, shock resistance, all those sort of things are probably better. And with this one we've gone for an electronics mod with skill haste. We've got pulse critical hit chance, and again pulse critical hit chance. I would change this. I'd have pulse critical hit damage across all of these. You could probably even run a first aid self heal, to be completely honest. I've gone for a more DPS focused build as opposed to sort of survivability, hence why I've gone for the pulse damage as opposed to the first aid self heal, to be honest. The Skull MC gloves, the crux of this entire build. This build doesn't work without this because you get the extra 16% damage when no set bonuses are active. Crit chance damage and SMG damage, pretty standard there. And then lastly with the holster, we've gone for Nimble. I rarely ever use Nimble, but I don't really use any of the holster talents, so I've just gone for this one. If you'd prefer to run something like Colonel Bliss's, which gives you that extra damage from using a sidearm, that's fine. I just find that whenever I run Colonel Bliss's, I actually never use it. So it doesn't really matter which holster I run here. It's entirely up to you, really. But I've gone for this. And then with the major attribute here, I've gone for health as well. Again, I could have run crit chance, but it's a waste with this pulse. So I've gone for health, really. To be fair, you could probably run skill haste here, and it would be much better. On second thoughts, do you know what? I think you should be running skill haste here. So let me just quickly pop on over to the old place over here, and we'll quickly whack on skill haste, because thinking about it, recalibration station, I couldn't think of it for a second. Let's whack on skill haste here. That's what you want to run. Don't run health, run skill haste. You can tell I'm prepared for this video. You can obviously tell. There you go, skill haste. And let me just go back to the screen. Skill haste. That's what we want to run here. And then, of course, the mod, again, pulse critical hit chance. Again, up to you. You can run first aid, self heal, or damage. It's entirely up to you. Weapons-wise, pretty standard, just running my house. And, you know, as you all know, it's just, you want to be getting as much damage and crit hit damage and crit chance as possible. And I'm running my SVD for my secondary here as well. Abilities-wise, as you can see with my Recon Pack Pulse, we got 25% crit chance and 20% crit damage. So, if I have a quick look on my character sheet here, then actually, I believe we're looking at around 60% crit chance, and we're looking at about 130% crit damage when my pulse goes off. And if you whack that with booster shot, as you can see, my self-heal is 92,000, which is pretty good. And in the last health segment, then you're going to be getting almost to full health, actually, with this. And you're going to be getting that damage mitigation and that extra damage, so it does make a massive difference. And then talents-wise, lastly, Adrenaline for Predators. This guy's about to make my screen go blurry. No, it didn't. He didn't, luckily. We've got On the Move, and we've also got Critical Save Standard, and we've also got Strike Back. You will find that you may get into low health fairly often, certainly if you're running into, you know, PvP. You kind of want to be taking a second position, really, with this. Then this helps bring back those booster shot and that pulse, so you can get back into the fight quicker, do more damage, and GG to the other team. So there you go, guys. That's the build. I've got some PvP gameplay showcasing this build. I couldn't really showcase it too well because we actually, well, I'll let you watch the video, but we actually destroy this team. But you will see this build does a lot of damage. Certainly when pulse and booster shot are used together, this build does a lot of damage. And actually, I don't really get down to low health very easily, apart from the first clip, as you'll see. With that said, let's get into the footage. Enjoy. Welcome, agents. Today we're trying a 654 Hexo... Ooh, Hexo build. I've not tried this out before. It looks quite fun to use, which is why I'm trying it, but... Woo-wee! My man just hit me with that rifle. Damn. Did not expect that. The good thing about this build is you get quite a lot of, like, you got good heals and stuff, which is good. There's that sniper right there. Just trying to hit him with that SVD. Dino, down! Let's hit this guy at the back here. Oh. He's obviously got no health because he's running Deadeye. Which is cool, man. I respect you, fam. Especially in skirmish, playing Deadeye is... I like it. I really do. That's cool. It's a shame. I love running Deadeye myself. I don't think I've ever run Deadeye in skirmish, though. Don't think. I'm going to go over here. Hit him with the sauce. I'm going all the way around, you know.
You're kicking road ass.
Guys, gonna go and get position. I'm gonna hit him with that Deadeye. You're dead, man. You're in trouble, my friend. You're in trouble, my friend. I'm sorry, Dino. But no. Woo! I mean, that guy's got some serious DPS, so he just destroyed my life. But then again, I've got really, really low health. What's my health on? I don't even know. We can have a look in a minute. I think it's only like 4,000 possibly. Sauce. Oh, you are lucky. You got me, is it? It's not enough. Okay. Build on build. Got you, fam. Let's get this guy. Dino. Oh, I don't like that sniper over the back there. I'm going to push around this way, hopefully get this guy from behind. Shot's bad. Got him. A D3 out of there. The D3 out of there. Man. D3 out of there. Damn! 20 and 0. Wow, okay. Yeah, this build's good. I like it. I do actually quite like this. It's got good... The good thing about this build is you get your pulse back pretty quickly, you get your booster shot back pretty quickly. You're doing, you know, with the house you're doing good damage. And because you're getting your booster shot and pulse back, you're able to sustain your health pretty well, considering you've got fairly low stamina. So yeah, I'd highly recommend checking it out. It's a bit of a variation on the Skulls MC build. Most people would run sort of 752, you know, 7,000 firearms, 2 stamina, sorry, 5,000 stamina, 2 electronics. No one really invests into electronics, so I thought I'd try this out with 654, and I think it works good. Highly recommend it. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, guys, then yeah, please leave a like, and until the next one, epic out.